Hey everybody, welcome back to Back It or Bail, the series where I dig through tabletop crowdfunding campaigns and figure out what they're doing right, what might be holding them back, and most importantly, whether I'd actually put my own money behind them. Of course, I'm not here to dunk on anybody because crowdfunding as a game is very hard. It's all about looking at these campaigns from a backer's perspective and asking one very simple question: would I back it or would I bail? Let's dive right in. Let's crack this campaign open. So the first game we're going to take a look at is a game called Whisperwood by Cardboard Alchemy. Cardboard Alchemy, of course, if you know, they're known for Flamecraft and all sorts of games like that. So in Whisperwood, looks like they're 500,000 over 100,000 goals, so they're already, well on their way, and they've got 9 days to go. So Whisperwood, it looks like the headline: use druidic magic to restore the flora and fauna of a corrupted forest in this engaging bag builder for 1 to 4 players. I really like bag builders. I love Quacks of Quedlinburg. Of course, that's like a push your luck bag builder, stuff like that. So let's go into the campaign itself and see what we got going on. Let me zoom in just slightly for you. So we start out with a little animated GIF. Project we love on Kickstarter. We all know how I feel about that. It used to be something that's really exciting and, worthwhile, but now I feel like they're putting Project we love on pretty much everything, so it's kind of hard to judge whether or not that's actually a game we should love. Only your magic can save the forest. Brought to you by Cardboard Alchemy, Andromeda's Edge, Flamecraft, Critter Kitchen. So huge names, obviously, right? This right here is a great front image. I love how they're designing it so that the image is over the edges. See how a lot of campaigns will cut that flat and it'll not give that immersive feel, right? And so it's really nice to see that they're cutting into the edges, into the white space. See right here a little bit, they missed a little something in Photoshop, but that's okay. So right away it tells you there's a modular map, element, paths to victory, compete to be the best druid, reawaken the golems. So maybe there's a little bit of engine building or some engine creation here as well. Upgradable actions. So they're kind of giving us a little bit of like how you play the game and like the key features of the game, which I think is very, very clutch. Because you want to tell people what the game, why would they back the game, right? So I think that's really clever that they did that. Artists, they tell you right away, so there's no people in the comments, it's AI art, blah, 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 all that crap. 1 to 4 players, 50 minutes per player. Woo, that's a long game. 50 minutes per player, 14 and up. Of course, Rado has some good things to say, as he always does. Jason, Easy Cat, level of depth here, easily my favorite bag builder I've ever played. It's cool how they're cycling through the GIFs there. And this artwork is phenomenal. So way to go on their artists. So we got some quotes here. Board and Shield. I've never heard of them before. What's in the box? So they go right now to what's in the box. So the base game looks like $90. The Owl. So there's some tiles, location, some markers. It looks like they did a really good job laying out this campaign page and telling you exactly what's in there. I will say this is very overwhelming. So looking at this, they did a good job telling us how much content's actually in the box. But from someone on the other side, looking at all these, like, that's a lot of pieces to have to store, have to take out, punch out. So it's a little bit overwhelming. You kind of know what weight this is going in as you're looking at it. So that's really nice they do that. Then we got the Otter. Everything above plus a bunch of upgrades. Restoration trays. I wonder, is that a game trays? Yep, game trays system. If you don't know what game trays is, they basically make these really awesome tray systems for games where you can put all of your stuff in and, it's extremely organized and it's very high quality stuff. So game trays, of course, you go down here a little bit. That looks absolutely amazing. I love what they do here. I'm a little worried about this, the game trays insert here, because I know I used to work at Open Owl Studios and we had some Mythwind and Stars of Ikarios, and we had some issues a little bit with the game trays that we used. They didn't fit in the tray, and so there was a big deal. Then they got the bear. The bear has to be the big boy. And, of course, I think there's miniatures. You don't need miniatures. You really don't. Why would you pay to store that? It looks like they're unlocking some more as well. I love this. How to play. It tells you, step by step. Draw from your bag. Prepare simultaneously. Whisper to awaken the golems. What does that mean? Whisper? I don't know, but maybe you're going to a section and placing a coin. Upgrade your actions and chant for ongoing powers. Okay. Board Game Garden. Jenna's out there going crazy. Livy from Box Meeples. Julian from Box Meeples. They do have a rulebook, so let's click on that rulebook and see. Beautiful 21 pages rulebook. I don't know if this is final, but I would assume that this is final as well. So why Kickstarter? This is something I feel like every campaign should have, because when this game's going to retail probably, right? So why would I back it now? You have to have backers understand the purpose for backing on crowdfunding. Otherwise, why would they just wait? But on your side, you don't want them to wait, right? So that is that. And they got some more things like add-ons. Of course, you can add on some miniatures. You can play them now, so it looks like it's on TTS, which is helpful. Fun puzzles. This is stuff I love. It's the community side of things where there's puzzles out there and everything you want to say. So what are the fans saying? All sorts of quotes and everything you can go read on your own time. So that's going to be Whisperwood from Cardboard Alchemy. I haven't backed a ton of campaigns recently due to the nature of the world, but is this one that I'll back or bail? I think this one is a project I would back. Okay, in the second campaign, we're looking at Snapships Tactics Massive Expansion and Reprint. Looks like they're at a 236 as we're filming this out of 55. So Snapships is something that's super cool. You're essentially taking these pieces all over the place and building these awesome epic ships. I did a little bit of social media for them a while back, and I have a few of the ships as well in person. They're really, really cool, and I love the Lego-y feel. So let's take a look at this campaign. Looks like we have some really good graphics. Yet again, there's that project we love again, like I said before. So this is an expansion that adds some versus, co-op, and solo game modes. So that is really nice. I have only played it the one time. The rulebook was a long read for me, just because I'm not a huge rulebook guy, but that's okay. Looks like they start out, create the one as the ship is the one you create. Cool. You can build a custom ship, and that's what I really loved about it. Hundreds of detailed little parts and pieces you could clip on. They each have their own cards that do different things. Similar to like Warhammer, if you think about it. Like Warhammer gives your minions and all those things different pieces that you can equip them with for different abilities. Penny Arcade, RIP. I don't know if Penny Arcade's around anymore. I think they went away. Build to Battle. Then they got, a little epic video. What's new? This is something I wish more campaigns had on their page, is you need to tell us what the new stuff is, right? Don't just show us the flashy miniatures, everything, but like tell us why we should back this campaign and why we should back this expansion. So it looks like doubles in size with some drones, battle and deploy theme mid-game, some bigger capital ships, and a revised rulebook, which is nice, and a reprint. So it looks like just more content, right? That's what you want in an expansion, more content. Krabok, very big name, so it's cool that they have a little quote on the page here. They do have the rulebook out there, and they got four different five different pledges. $350, you could get the all-in, all gameplay, everything like that. And honestly, $99 for the starter pack or from the base game is actually not too bad. You get a lot of content in that base. But of course, if you want everything and more, the $120 is going to be your sweet spot there. So we got some add-ons. The stand packs, those stand packs are actually very high quality. I do like those a lot. The stand bridges, fine. The 4 battleship bundle, you're paying a lot of money for battleships. But if you think about it, if you compare it to Legos, you're paying a crap ton of money for Lego builds, right? And so this is similar feel, but it also has a gameplay addition to it. So that's why I think this is actually a pretty decent deal for 4 boxes. So all these things, you can dive in, upgrade your add-ons, dice sets, playmats, scaling the game, and how to play. So one thing I really don't like as much that campaigns do now is the how to play section is so far down the page. Like, I want to know the how to play right away. Don't make me scroll through 50 pages worth of material before I can actually learn your game, right? So the first thing is you're designing your ship, put your pieces together, build your model. That's the fun part. Activate and move. So you're going to take these cubes and dice, take them around, activate your cubes, attack and damage like typical battle stuff. It's a slick AI system for solo and co-op play. So that is Snapships Tactics. Go ahead and check it out if you want. So real question though, is this one I will back or bail? Drum roll, please. Boom. I personally am going to bail on this, not because I don't want the content. I have enough content already, and I don't see myself playing it enough on the table and getting it to the table enough to actually make it worth backing this campaign. But of course, if you like the campaign, go check it out. It's on Kickstarter. They have 17 days to go as time of filming this. So if that's something you really love for the family, go check it out. And tell them Devin sent you. The next campaign we're talking about is the Monolith from our friends over at Plaid Hat Games. You might know them from Summoner Wars. Absolute amazing game. Slay your enemies and offer their hearts to the vile monolith that holds you in thrall. And honestly, for 50,000, they got 110. So of course they're over their funding goal, but that's actually for Plaid Hat. That's actually really low. So I know there was some issues with Monolith, and I know they've had some discussions about that externally and internally. I don't know all of the issues at hand, but you can go find those out there. So let's take a look at the campaign. Really epic graphic right off the bat. I love how they put that in. The world of Monolith, there's just a quick setup. So far, not heavy on the graphics, which is okay. You honestly don't need to overload on the graphics. Just make sure your information is correct there. Components. So there is a tower. A pretty epic looking dice tower. A game board. Shaman figures and cards. Ooh, those miniatures, though. I don't know how I feel about those minis. They look like there wouldn't be enough detail on those. So that's something that I'm a little bit hesitant of. And also, these buildings and stuff, I worry that it's almost too plasticky. You know how sometimes in like Wonders of the World, there's those big epic, buildings and stuff, but they're kind of unnecessary. If you want that experience, right, go for it. Hell yeah, that sounds awesome. But I worry that these might be just too plasticky and not have that good feel to it. So why you want this game, I like how they worded that because it puts you into the perspective of like, okay, I'm reading this. What's this game for me? Like, why is it for me? Reduced price, components, upgrades, 2 expansions, exclusive artwork only during the campaign, and a quick fulfillment time all make this project an excellent campaign to jump into. So very, very like bare bones campaign page. It almost seems like they kind of just threw this together pretty quickly. It doesn't look like they did too much work on the actual design of the page, which again is totally fine. You don't need to overblow it, but I feel like they probably could have done a little bit more instead of just choppy little graphics here and some bullet points. There's an animated GIF showing you kind of what's happening. Bullets here, once a player lands, they've committed. So I almost like, instead of a bunch of text blocks here, I almost want a headline, right? Like just give us the key features like we saw in the previous ones. And these effects look pretty cool, right? The smoke and everything coming off of that's pretty dope, but it doesn't really give me much excitement about the game. So then we jump right into pledges. $70, $20 off retail. Just a copy of the game. That's it. Okay. Deluxe tier, you get the expansion, another expansion, some metal tokens, which, tokens I'm always iffy on if I want to like upgrade or not, because I feel like the tokens are fine as chipboard or just like wood components. And the deluxe, early bird deluxe tier. Oh, that's a whole other video. I'm not a huge fan of the early bird, all that stuff. But then we go into add-ons, some more content here. I'm shipping. Looks like for shipping, you're going to go $12 US, which isn't actually too bad, honestly, for a $70 game. And then up all the way up to $60 for the rest of the world. Holy moly, I would never do that. Designer here, that guy looks fun. I want to hang out with that guy. He looks pretty sweet. And then the artist. The artist is fantastic. I mean, 15 years of industry experience, digital and physical. He did some D&D stuff, all sorts of things. So that is Monolith. You can check out their promoted by BackerKit, blah, 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 all that fun stuff. Monolith by Plaid Hat, not making that much money, but if you want to go check it out, it seems like the right game for you. Go ahead and check it out. I am going to probably bail on this one, mainly because I know I won't hit this to the table. I know it just doesn't. There wasn't much here that really hooked me in and got me excited about it. It was kind of a bare bones campaign. I didn't really know much about it, and honestly, it doesn't. Even from the cover image itself, it doesn't strike me as a game I would personally like. So that is why I'm going to bail on this campaign. But you might like it, so check it out. And then we move on to Spirit Train, The Final Journey. The train has chosen you as its next conductor, guiding lost souls through the realm between worlds, making a whopping $266,000 of a $10,000 goal, 1,757 backers, and 21 days to go. They are actually from Iowa City, Iowa, which is crazy because they're pretty darn close to me. I'm from Iowa as well, and so Sweater Bear Games, pretty cool. I don't know. I think it's a couple or just a couple friends or something that are doing this. First off, right away, I'm going to say this is very, oh man, this artwork is very like, I can't remember. I'm blanking off the top of my head, but It's Spirited Away kind of thing like that. You know, the chibi, but also, you know, tapping into that Japanese culture or Korean culture with the art style, and I absolutely love it. It's so aesthetically pleasing. Now, right off the bat, though, I will say I cannot read this text. I have to zoom in super close. Even this text on the background is really hard. It's a very overwhelming image to start off with because you see just a random train with a deer head on it and a ghost in the background. I don't know if I would want to click further if I wasn't interested in the artwork, right? So as we move down, even this right here, so small. It's hard to see even what is happening. Kai, Oliver, Lucy, Haru, I can see those. But there's a lot going on here. Different text pieces. Animated GIF that just shows putting something in your train, which is kind of cool. I love that gimmick there. Core features, build your train, take care of spirits, face off with death. What? Well, that sounds kind of intriguing. And then they have like a wingspan dice tower, it looks like. Going down here, the 3 cycles, meaningful choices, endless strategies. So it doesn't really tell me much besides just that. Some quotes here. A lot of pieces. Again, I can't read any of this, so I'm not even gonna try. Hand drawn, like that's really cool. I love when they actually bring artists in and just like really let them immerse themselves into the world. That's so fantastic. But standees of all 50 plus spirits. That seems like a lot of standees. Like, I don't know if I would necessarily need all of that. It does look kind of cool with that gimmick, though. You're putting stuff into your train, and then you're actually bringing characters onto the train. That's actually a really cool gimmick, but I worry that gameplay is going to lack because of that gimmick, right? So as we go down here, I don't really even know what this is all about. It's just some more world building, collect tickets, a lot of text here. Why back now? The deluxe Conductor's Edition with 3D trains will not be available outside of Kickstarter, which makes sense because 3D components are not cheap. Support a small business with no AI artwork. Thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, some deeply discounted pricing, all that fun stuff. Hey, it's Adam with Tabletop Vibes. Go check him out. He's pretty cool. What's in the box? You got a board, a station tower, and train stop. Very adorable. I really like what they did with all that. Scrolling down here, you know, we got active spirit tiles, Conductor's Edition, all sorts of fun stuff like that. Scrolling all the way down here, and now, yet again, how to play is over half the page. Like, I want to know the how to play right away. Don't give it to me right after all the fancy shanty stuff. I don't care as much about the gimmick. I want to tell me if this game is right for me, right? Why would I back it, or why would I bail on it? And so you're going to interact with spirits on your train, help them cross over, collect spirit stones. And then it looks like most victory points. Okay, that's it. So an event is drawn in either conductors choose rooms to add to their train. Behind a player screen, there are starting rooms, 7 bonus rooms. Looks like you're going to be, you know, doing actions with the number of spirits you can activate. So it seems like kind of fun. It seems like the gimmick, though, is overwhelmingly out there. So I don't know. I mean, check out the rulebook. It looks like the rulebook's in the first draft. We got some other amazing people talking about the game, so don't take my word for it. But anyways, that is, yeah, that's Spirit Train, The Final Journey. Check it out. Will I be backing it or will I be bailing on it? I'm going to be bailing on this one, not because it doesn't look great. I think this game looks fantastic, and I think the aesthetic is beautiful. I don't like the cover at all. I actually really cannot stand that cover. Again, it's hard to read. The title is very small. The off-putting, you know, deer train is just not something I really enjoy. But that's okay. I mean, this might be a your aesthetic kind of thing. For, you know, for a base pledge of, or the featured is $180, but $60 for the Choo Choo edition, I don't see myself playing this for $60 more than one time, so I cannot justify that. But awesome to see guys from Iowa City, you know, right close to home. Check them out, Spirit Train, The Final Journey. And last but not least today, we are talking about Aldarra, new Empire expansion and reprint campaign. It's a fast-paced 4X strategy game that made it to dominate your table. Set your fleets upon your opponents and control Aldarra. 141 of a $100,000 goal, so geez, 8 days to go, 584 backers, so not a lot, honestly, if you really think about it. This is from Sordane Publishing. Okay, so scrolling down here, right away, the free gift for all backers. Oh man, the free gift, $1 pledge, early pledge, all those things. The free metal token will be added to your pledge in the pledge manager when the Kickstarter ends, so you do have to back the game, obviously, to get that. We start off with a really cool you know, aesthetically pleasing background. The box, those look really plasticky. It almost looks like Catan meets Plastic Overlord, I guess. Key features. It's designed for fast-paced and lightweight actions. What does lightweight actions mean? Easy to learn rules with multiple strategy. Blah, blah, blah. It's that simple, easy to learn, difficult to master thing that you hear all the time. Ultimate replayability. Yet again, every game should have replayability, in my opinion. So, okay, whatever. Highly detailed, unique sculpts. Okay, well, we'll see what happens when they actually show up, right? They don't really look that unique and detailed, but okay. Asymmetric factions, I do believe in that. That's exciting. So then we got the new Empire, commodities and trade, variable faction powers, blah, blah, blah. Mark's treated the Dice Tower. Shout out to Mark. Love him. There's a ton of miniatures in this game. They're big and absolutely beautiful. I love the battles. It was a ton of fun. That's kind of generic, right? Like, why is it a ton of fun? It just, I have other games with battles. That's a ton of fun too, but the quote didn't really explain what it is. So you expand. I do like game highlights. That's really cool how they did that. You expand and explore. You got some faction powers. You will control the marketplace, upgrade your mines, commodities, and trade. All sorts of stuff. So original backer. So it looks like they have the original campaign. Get the upgrade pack. Pledge to any tier. I personally wish you would make the first version of the game the best it could be. But upgrade packs are fine as well if you really need it. Want it all for original backers. And why back now? So the main things, discounted price. Deluxe components as Kickstarter it's supposed to be, really. And then support the dream and early delivery. Planning for a delivery of 9 months out, but aim to be sooner. Okay, we will see. Let's see what you can do, Sordain Publishing. What's in the boxes? Multiple boxes. Standard edition, you have all sorts of fancy stuff. Collector's edition. Box contents. Oh, it's one of those long boxes, though. Where are you going to store that on your shelf? I always worry about that. Whenever I see these boxes, I'm like, okay, are you going to store it on the top shelf, on the bottom shelf? Calyx? All these miniatures that I don't need. Like, it just looks like plastic. Meh, in my opinion. This almost looks like a Queen game to me. And then the Savage Skies Standard Edition. It just looks like there's a ton of miniatures. So, scrolling down here, all I can kind of see is tons and tons of miniatures. All the way down to the end. They do have a rulebook a little bit on the page here, so you can check that out. But all in all, that's Aldarra New Empire expansion. I am definitely bailing on this game. It doesn't look like anything that I would want to play, but I also am not like a heavier gamer. It gets an 8 on Board Game Geek, so people out there like you might love it. And yet again, it's a project we love, like every other campaign we've seen today. But that's going to be New Empire expansion and reprint catalog. So that was it for today's Back It or Bail. Thanks for sticking with me. Of course, if you want to watch more content like this, please watch the videos that are popping up here and here. Really appreciate all your time. Crowdfunding is a hard game, but, you know, sometimes weeks are going to be amazing. Sometimes weeks are going to be really bad. There was a lot more bails this week than backs, but that's okay. Honestly, that happens. And in a world where crowdfunding is kind of getting a little scary sometimes, backing and or bailing, it's not that big of a deal. But thank you. I'm Devin again with NerdVault. We'll see you next time. And remember, keep rolling sixes and stay nerdy.